Welcome back. We've got a special menu prepared for you two tonight.
Yay! And there's good food too! No. Ooh, desserts! Nice! These are all Paimons! Paimon's already starting to forget what happened today.
Hostia, ¿y esta qué hace aquí?
Oh, that voice.
¿Qué
Is
coño?
that who I think it is?
Huh?
Hacía años de esta, ¿no?
It's you two. What are you doing in Fontaine?
Mona?
Seriously, nobody just uses a scry glass whenever they...
Still, we didn't expect to see you here.
Well, I have some business to attend to here, so I booked a hotel
Está
in the
metida en
city.
todos lados.
I was just out for a stroll when I bumped into you. Why did you think I was from Fontaine, though? Is that because Magistus doesn't sound much like a
Yeah, let's go.
Well, I used to have my own surname, which was, well, some other thing. Either way, the old hag told me when she took me as her disciple that the first step to being a great astrologist's pupil was there was nothing for it, really. She really is amazing at astrology, so I changed my name to what it is now according to her wishes. To my surprise, however...
It isn't?
Nope. Although it is used by us in place of surnames, it generally just means great.
Wow! Imagine including a boast in your name. Wait, are you gonna have to put that into your deed?
I reckon so. In any case, I'd give my disciple a name like this as well, if I were Astromancer Barbeloth Trismegistus.
Whoa, that's a long one. Does it also mean great?
My name means Mona the Great Astrologist. As for the old hag, hers is, in plain speech, the thrice as great Scholar of the Stars.
Thrice as great? That's so... petty.
I know, right? That's just how she is. She used to call herself Magistus, actually, but when she took me in, she changed her name to Trismegistus.
Talk about excessive.
Magistus is thus the calling card of our school, so to speak, which makes it about the same as a surname. It's all right if you don't get it. You can look into it further should you need to study astrology more deeply.
That sounds terrible! But anyway, you're not Fontanian, are you, Mona? You're from Mondstadt, right?
Well, I was born in Mondstadt, yes. My parents migrated to Dornman Port, and I traveled with the old hag for a while, after which I settled down in Mondstadt City.
Oh, that's a good thing then. At least we know you won't be dissolved by Fontaine's water.
Speaking of that, I'm sure you're aware that a bunch of things have happened here in Fontaine, right? I know you're not... There's something ominous about it. Well, the water, I mean. That was the main reason, yes. Just a while back, the Steambird invited me to take part in a panel and speak about the circulation of the prophecy as an astrologist. The invitation was sent quite early on. I don't think anyone expected Fontaine to be in this much trouble.
What do you make of that prophecy, Mona? Just tell us what you think as an astrologist. Your word would go a long way to make things more certain and less...
What I can tell you is that I'm an astrologist, and that this prophecy concerns the fate of Fontaine, even that of all Tevat. I'm afraid that this is not something that just anyone can do. If I could do it, but on the flip side, the prophecy is so huge and powerful that it must surely come from a powerful visionary. Its contents involve the
A visionary? Sounds really powerful and...
Of course. The old hag could do it, and I'd bet there are others amongst those Hexenzirkel colleagues of hers who could do something similar. Huh? Are you sure? All right, I'll help you. It isn't often that I see you with such...
Thanks, Mona! You're amazing as always!
Oh, well, this is something only I can do after all. So...
That's the greatest of astrologists for you! Of all the people we know, you know the star's the best!
Indeed, indeed!
Oh, sorry. I came to see what all the commotion was about. If there's anything you need, do not hesitate to inform the Spina di...
Oh, Whoops, guess we were getting a little too carried away there. Well, I'll go tend to my own business now.
And there she goes, quick as rushing water. And here we are with the Spina guy giving us suspicious looks. If Paimon hadn't spoken for you, it'd be you getting all the weird looks. The thing... that's more like it. Good morning. To be honest, Paimon's still feeling kind of sleepy. But it's time to get up, Traveler. We agreed to go see Neuvillette, so let's pack it up and get going.
You're here, finally.
Is something wrong?
Monsieur Neuvillette and Lady Farina, they seem to have gotten into a dispute. Please go see for yourself.
Pues mira, pues como que Mona le gusta viajar. ¿A quién no? A mí me gustaría viajar si pudiera. Visitar muchos países, no sé. Pero, desgraciadamente, eso solo lo pueden hacer ciertos privilegiados.
Like I said, I've already explained everything.
And yet the problem has not been properly solved. There is little space for excuses between us.
Sí, no eres el único, me gustaría también. Es que yo creo que, a ver, habrá personas que no, pero casi todo el mundo le gustaría viajar. Ir a un país, pasar allí 2 o 3 semanas, conocer la zona, su cultura, llevarte algún recuerdo, no sé, vivir nuevas experiencias. A las 2 o 3 semanas, viajar a otro país y así, ¿sabes? Pero, lo dicho, eso solo lo pueden hacer privilegiados. Personas que hayan nacido en una familia adinerada, que no tengan preocupaciones y que no tengan que trabajar o que trabajen muy poco. En fin, personas que no es que hayan nacido con estrellas, sino que son la estrella, básicamente.
It is not my intention to offend you, but please, tell me where you stand. You are the Hydro Archon Focalor, are you not? Look at this. This is a list of the victims from the recent Poisson incident.
A mí me gustaría ir a España por 15 días enteros. Uf, pues como está España hoy en día, no sé yo, ¿eh?
You mean they're all...
We did not arrive in time to avert this disaster, and I will not have it happen again. I will say this once more. You must tell me everything you know. Yesterday, I found 3 stone slates in some ancient ruins near Poisson.
Seriously? You're questioning me like this is a court case now. I don't know anything about that. But you found them in some ancient ruins, you say?
That's correct, which is why I came to ask you some questions. There should have been 4 slates, but one of them was missing. The other 3 feature different images that seem to correlate to the prophecy.
The prophecy?
The second of these slates depicts the previous Hydro Archon Egeria kneeling before a floating island in the sky, as if confessing something.
I don't. I've never seen such
I'll ask you again. Do you really have no... My deciphering of the slates indicates that the Hydro Archon Egeria once had to confess to, or apologize for, a certain sin. If anyone would know...
All gods don't have the same secrets, you know. She was herself and I'm me. Is it really so strange that I know nothing? I understand your concerns, but I'm sorry. I just don't have anything to tell you.
Esta tía oculta algo, no sé, como que... no sé. Te contrato como guía turístico. Me gustaría... o el mes para conocer la cultura o los pueblos y ciudades. Es que ya depende de la zona. España se ha puesto, la verdad, sinceramente, con toda la inmigración que está entrando. España está muy mal, sobre todo para los turistas. Por eso también está España sufriendo. Porque cada vez vienen menos turistas, muy peligroso para ellos. Al ser turistas son más fáciles de... Te pago hasta el motel, sí, claro. ¿Algo más?
Forgive me for saying this now, Lady Farina, but I have long known of your various secret investigations into certain... There are several indications that you have been investigating the prophecy. This is not strange in itself, considering that you are the Hydro Archon. But it is strange that you should also claim to not know any of Egeria's secrets. You have never been as superficial as you have presented yourself to be, nor are you a fool. And yet, your...
So you've been watching me all this time, have you? I didn't think...
You...
Bailas de la comida y pasear medio España, sí, claro. ¿Tú sabes lo caro que te sale pasear por media España?
Well, since you know about my secret investigations, then you should know I'm actually working to take care of it. There's no point questioning or suspecting me. You're the Eudix, but you're still my subordinate. You just trust in me, your Archon, and do as I say. Never mind whether you can truly convince yourself. That's all I have to say. We do not discuss this. Oh, the opera's about to start. Toodles!
No sé, estar Conte no me gusta, es muy infantil, no sé. Es como muy tonta.
Did Farina not notice us standing by the door? Wonder what's up with her. She was smiling. Huh. She didn't seem in the mood to care if we were listening in or not.
Es muy madura. Pues si mi tía se va como con 2000 euros y se pega buen viaje. ¿Con 2000 euros nada más? Con 2000 euros en una ciudad. Si tú quieres visitar media España, 2000 euros. Con eso no te da, ¿eh? Sí, porque ella no pagó el hotel caro, sino de 3. Sí, pero por eso digo, en una ciudad. Si tú quieres visitar más ciudades, con ese dinero no te llega, ya te lo digo yo. Está ocultando algo.
I assume you've been outside for a while now?
Oh, you noticed. Seems Farina didn't even realize we were here.
She was in a great panic, though I cannot discern the reason. Our discussion reached impasses time and again, a state of affairs that we cannot allow to continue. Still, I do not understand. Dialogue is the basis for understanding, so why did she keep refusing to engage? Everyone in her inner circle has noticed that she is hiding some secret. The issue is her attitude. I fear that she will not reveal anything unless we may have to create a situation in which she will have no choice but to speak.
Oh?
Normally, people will only reveal the truth when standing trial. Perhaps we must have the
But Farina's seen so many trials, and she's really good at dodging questions. How do we make sure that she won't just slip away at the first chance she...
We will need to consider this thoroughly, join forces with various parties, and then do what we can. If at all possible, I would prefer to recuse myself from this affair, but we must prevent the prophecy from coming to pass. This may be cruel to her, but all Fontaine is in crisis. The information a god possesses is too precious, and so we must take a chance on this. But who will lend us their aid to do such a thing?
Well, that's everyone, huh? Speaking of which, it was pretty smart of you to think of hiding here.
Poisson was just involved in a disaster, so it's presently devoid of people. That naturally makes it...
And here you are drinking tea like it's the most natural thing in the world, huh?
That's what family should do. Sit...
It's nice to enjoy tea here, you know? Care for a cup?
Lend me your ears, everyone. Or perhaps one of you might like to start us off. How about you, friend?
Me? No, I don't think I can.
Then, how about you, good sir?
I fear that I will cause the mood on this boat to become as somber as it is in court.
Well then, I guess we're lucky we've got a local like me to organize things. Wonderful, the spotlight at last.
That was a little long-winded, don't you think?
Oh, you might be right. Anyway, to cut to the chase, our friend here, the Traveler, as for what that is, well, let's start by saying that we'll be pooling our efforts together.
Oh, how intriguing.
Well, it's just an expression, really. One that I just learned from Chlorand, and used on the spot. So, let's invite her to explain in detail.
Huh? Didn't you...
Oh, come now. Your work doesn't involve much public speaking, right? This is a good chance to practice.
I see. And what does my boss say?
He is glad that you consider him your...
In that case, do any of you have experience hunting?
Not that I recall.
Fremine and I once used a wooden stick in a basket to catch wild rabbits when we were younger. As for Lynette...
I've also gone diving to catch some fish before. Does that count?
I'm afraid not. You may or may not have heard, but Fontaine once played host to a group known as the Marechaussee Hunter. Though that was their name, they did not hunt animals, but rather various monsters left behind by the ancient dynasty. Today, Fontaine's monster population has already thinned greatly, so the hunters have blended back into society, taking up arms in other lines of work. A trap comprises of the following components: bait, a trigger, and a containment device. Sometimes a lethal implement will also be necessary. So, if we were to build a trap together, right now...
For me, I would prefer something basket-shaped. Pigeons and rabbits will see the bait, and our line of work requires a deft hand, and we're some of the best in the industry, so you can count on our techniques.
You used some of those techniques while moving the people of Poisson, didn't you? My subordinates mentioned that you even performed some magic for the bawling children.
Yes, and I even managed to gather some intelligence in the meantime.
I'm afraid I can't claim that as my strong suit. I prefer more stable methods, like placing bait in the water and waiting for the fish to come within reach.
Calm and steady. Exactly the kind of person who would catch loads of fish.
And I can be their assistant.
With discretion, I'm sure.
I'd probably use some sort of mechanical animal.
Papa once bought me some small clockwork squirrels, mice, and such. When placed in the forest, they can attract others of their kind. I remember that you liked those too, didn't you?
I did. And that would be a good way to go about it. If they're realistic enough, animals of the same...
What about you, Monsieur Neuvillette?
I fear I do not have any related
That makes sense. You usually solve problems directly, but I do have one more question for you. If we were to create a trap now, how would you design it?
I would like for it to be effective, but bring no harm to the prey. A more gentle trap would be...
Kind, as always. However, our intention doesn't necessarily change the containment device and the type of implement we need. If we wanted to kill the prey in one strike, we would need a powerful implement. However, that also goes for prey that must be...
Wait, why's that?
Only a hunter who's a true expert at subduing their prey can snare it without harming it.
So are we going hunting together?
Huh. We hadn't thought of seeing ourselves as hunters. It kinda works, but maybe...
If our means of capturing and dealing with our prey is to put them on trial, then the hunting metaphor is actually quite But we shall require much more courage than any hunter to judge a god. A being whose seat is...
Oh, so that's what's going on.
Ya casi se acaba la novela. Creo que no. O sea, creo que le queda por lo menos 3 horas, ¿eh? Ah, este. Hola. Tienes una polla en la boca, no te oigo.
¿Me oyes?
Sí, sí. No mames, 3 horas, que novela más larga. O sea, tú vas ahí con el botón dándole rápido. Pero es que entonces así no te enteras. Ah, es verdad, Tommy te manda saludos, Guadalupe. ¿Eh? ¿Y qué? ¿De qué ha sido la pesadilla?
Pues te lo he dicho, una apocalipsis zombies.
Pero o sea, sin más, ya está.
A ver, sí, luego pasaron cosas y tal, pero bueno. La temática del apocalipsis zombies.
Ah, sigue hablando.
¿Me oyes? Es que me acabo de despertar, o sea.
Sí, sí, se nota. Dormilón.
Y pollas.
Eso no te quita lo dormilón.
Yo más que me levanté a las 3, pero me volví a dormir.
Lo he dicho, dormilón. Yo supuestamente he dormido 3 horas y media o así. Pero sí, igual, me despierto notando algo, como que hay algo en mi piel y tal, me levanto corriendo, miro. No sé, llevo ya, no sé, una semana sin dormir ni 2 horas seguidas. Y estoy siempre cansado. Porque te saluda Guadalupe. ¿Qué Guadalupe? Yo no conozco ninguna Guadalupe. Y nada, te digo lo que pasó al final con el este.
¿En qué?
Bueno, me pongo en el Genshin, digo yo, pues nada, vamos a empezar con la principal porque no puedo terminar la otra. Hablo con la tía y nada más terminar con la tía me pone un mensaje. Ya puedes continuar con la otra misión. Me cago en tu puta madre. O sea, el juego tiene que arreglar esto, es que no tiene sentido. O sea, solo me obligó solo a eso, a hablar con la tía para activar la misión principal. Y ya pude terminar la otra. Horrible, horrible. O sea,
Ya.
¿qué coño es eso? Porque has puesto una imagen de tu cara, Ronel. En fin, y no sé, la misión, no sé, la parte final me ha dejado frío. O sea, el niño se convierte de nuevo en niño y tal. Llevamos a la niña, ¿no? A su nueva casa, con su abuelo, supuestamente. Y cuando vamos a ir a hablar con él ya no está, y sin más. ¿Dónde ha ido? ¿Dónde está? O sea, no entiendo. O sea, ¿ya no sale más o qué?
¿Quién?
El niño.
¿Has terminado la misión?
A ver, he llevado a la niña a su nuevo hogar.
¿Has terminado la misión?
Te estoy diciendo, he llevado a la niña a su nuevo hogar. Y ya
Sí.
está.
Pero, o sea, pero es que yo no me acuerdo lo que pasaba en la misión. ¿Eso
Ya,
es
pero-
terminar la misión?
No lo sé, porque supuestamente el de los clúteros narcisos, supuestamente la he terminado. Pero cuando me dijiste, ¿tienes la espada? Y yo, no. Y entonces me dijiste, entonces no la has terminado. Pero claro, se supone que la he terminado porque ya no aparece nada más.
O sea, ¿pero qué has visto? O sea, repite lo que has dicho. Que he escuchado lo de la niña, pero no lo del niño.
A ver, el niño que se convierte en monstruito.
Vale.
Al final hemos salido de la prisión y hemos llevado a la niña con su abuelo. ¿Vale? Le ha dicho que se volverían a ver y tal, pero luego, cuando hemos estado por separado, ha dicho que no, que ya se olvidará de él y ella vivirá su vida. La hemos llevado con el abuelo y cuando hemos vuelto para hablar con el niño y tal, de repente, o sea, cuando ya, por así decirlo, pone misión completada y tal, y mata al avatar, ¿no? El
Sí.
niño ya no está. ¿Dónde está?
A ver, creo que eso es el fin de la misión, sí, creo que sí.
¿Y entonces?
Pues eso. Es que no sabía decirte, no sé si hay. No me acuerdo si hay continuación.
Pues entonces déjame
Pues
más
es
información.
Pues es el final.
Ahora hace más y me gusta las patas.
Madre mía.
¿Qué? Vamos a ver. Por aquí. Pues sí, supuestamente acaba la misión, pues no entiendo.
A no ser que luego se desbloquee. No sé si te acuerdas. Que había una misión, no me acuerdo dónde era.
Bueno, espérate.
¿Qué?
Nada, que entra en otra página en inglés.
¿Sí?
Y pone... Será como un spoiler, ¿no? Nada, entra en un de este que pues, supuestamente sale el personaje y abajo, bajas abajo y pone en inglés Member of the... el Club de los Narcisos. Pero yo ya he hecho esa misión y no lo he visto, así que entonces yo creo que será en la continuación que aparece. O sea que a lo mejor se ha ido allí.
Pues,
Así que bueno, pues
puede
me
ser.
quita la sorpresa. Eso por mirar. Mi
Eh,
maldita curiosidad acaba siempre ya dejándome la boca llena de...
Lo hice.
¡Gilipollas!
Eh, Porque sí, lo afirmo. No. Y
¿Cómo
que
te
mientras
pesa?
eso se transforma en monstruo.
Sí.
Rico.
¡Cosas!
It's been a tough few days,
Bueno,
hasn't
vamos a ir
it?
con la historia.
So much has been happening. Paimon didn't think the meetings would go on for so long, but everyone seemed pretty... Paimon thought they'd be at least a little frightened. Well, Fremine was, now that Paimon thinks about it, but everyone else just... well... It's hard to say. Paimon doesn't have any experience with this sort of thing. But with you around, Paimon sure will do great. After all, you're the most reliable person in the world, aren't you? Did you just pour some tea? Paimon didn't notice you doing that at all. Then what's that? Paimon's never seen that cup before.
Don't be frightened. I'm just joining you two for tea.
Who's that voice? But there's no one here.
Aw, have you forgotten me already?
Wait, you are familiar. You're the voice we heard from the sky in Sumeru.
The voice from the sky, I fear that description is wrong. You're feeling lost now, just as you were feeling previously. Consider me a passerby, just accepting a commission from my friend's disciple on a whim. The prophecy. Yes, what has been prophesied will be fulfilled. You may view such things as...
What? Then is there an...
I believe you have witnessed a failed attempt with your own eyes. Can everything in Tevat so easily be changed? Ah, so you've caught on. Just as prophecies are usually only the future as seen from the perspectives of the gods, could things be happening in hidden corners where the god's gaze does not fall?
Te dejo porque tengo que dormir. Vale, Alex. Espero que te hayas divertido y entretenido. Que sé que no. Y que descanses y eso. Hoy qué día es, por cierto, espérate.
Jueves.
Ya, qué pereza.
Are the things that you shall see different from the fate that the...
What is she talking about? It all sounds really impressive.
I believe that you understand, right? Some things are ultimately, fate shall serve as your only guide, no matter what will happen in Tevat's future. This was good tea, by the way. Thank you for your hospitality.
The voice. All right, coming. Hey, it's you who's getting lazy, okay?
Well, I see I've walked in on some lively banter.
Gracias, que te sigan cogiendo. Ah, sí, sí, tranquilo, eso seguirá pasando.
Eso todos los días.
¿Has visto que apareció Mona?
Fine. I went to take part in that Steambird panel. It turned out to be more... Not all Fontanians are pessimistic about this. One journalist mentioned that sitting around and waiting for the end to come would be wrong, and that they should make their own rescue...
Did she have pink hair by any chance?
Why, yes. It was Charlotte. I assume you've heard of her. I'm in full support of her view. Prophecies are very important, but how can people allow their lives to be commandeered by just a few words?
That's right! Paimon's glad to hear something sensible for what—
Ah, yes. About what we had discussed before. I did try, but I'm afraid I couldn't reach the old hag. I'll try again tonight, but I wouldn't get your hopes up. Huh? Goodness gracious. Are you serious?
She said that even the god's gaze has blind spots. Pretty bold if you ask Paimon. Most people would believe the gods to be all-knowing, right?
The Hexen Circle members are certainly anything but ordinary. As for the mage named N, the old hag has mentioned her a few times. She said that N's sense of direction is incredible, and that she loves guiding those who are lost. But I've never met her, and if she were still alive, she'd be... Well, suffice it to say that the hag's at least a few hundred now, and N's been around for longer than that.
Whoa. The Hexen Circle sounds like a scary group. But they must really stay in shape to live so long.
Their abilities alone are pretty terrifying. If she came to see you personally, then the problem you're facing must truly be of great importance.
Well, it's not like Paimon could understand anything she said.
Yes, she was quite cryptic, but I suspect she means that there is still a way to turn things around. She didn't say when or what that would be, though, so... Perhaps it is something that you cannot know right now. Traveler, Paimon?
Oh, we're fine. We're just a little down right now. It kind of feels like the end is...
I see. I feel that same sense of desperation, too. I guess you could consider me someone who has often witnessed fate, but even so, I still hope for, and believe in, miracles. Astrology is eternal and rational. Perhaps that's what N was trying to tell you. Not to lose heart, and to I did originally think of steering clear of all this, but I couldn't. Even if this is all futile, I still wish to help everyone. If we don't struggle to the last...
Huh. You do have a point.
There I go, talking about astrological principles again. Sorry about that. The moment I start talking about work-related, it was worth trying to comfort you, even if only a little. I believe that you'll help those who are struggling in the same way I did. I suppose that might be why we always seem to meet by coincidence.
Paimon feels kinda moved by what Mona said. But also kinda sad, too. Hey, Traveler. Paimon suddenly feels like going outside for a walk. Let's walk around the city, shall we? There's a few spots we always like to walk by.
¿Y qué? ¿Tú no vicias?
Un montón.
Yo sí soy pero bien.
Pues si me calientan, ¿qué quieres que haga, puto?
¿Y qué vas a jugar?
Sí, sí. ¿Todavía no has desbloqueado lo de Fontaine?
Sí, sí, lo de la
Uh,
cacería,
Ah,
sí.
vale.
huh?
Vale, vale,
Our
vale.
names are written in this
Pero
newspaper.
quiero terminar primero
What's
el
going on?
capítulo este. O sea, el acto este.
Let Paimon see. The underwater stronghold,
Sí,
the
solo
Fortress
pregunto.
of Meripede, has continued in its noble autonomy, but that my recent attempts to enter the fortress bore little fruit. Huh. Guess Charlotte still hasn't given up on that. Thus, did an Outlander friend become the focus of this report? A blonde adventurer with their white fairy legends trailing in their wake. So while the fortress's interior remains a mystery behind closed doors, do not fear, for the Tales of the Traveler contain surprises in journalist Charlotte's biggest scoop yet, The Traveler's Trail, World Walker. Huh. Charlotte took so many awesome photos of us and we never even noticed her. She hasn't been able to get a hold of anything at the fortress, so since we're easier to find, she's using us as the subject matter instead? Ugh, seriously? Well, fine. Those headlines and photos do look cool, so Paimon will forgive her this time.
Madre mía. Ah, sí, pero que me tuvo. A ver, pues sí, porque eres una
Por
puta.
gilipollas.
We're
Sí que
here!
es una puta.
Paimon's hungry. Should we go in and get something to eat?
Además, yo no sé qué soñaba que los zombies te fornicaban.
Gilipollas.
Hey, quick! Look! That's the limited edition, only 16 slices a day cake! It was so delicious the last time we tried it! Despite the tense situation we were in, let's give it another go! Paimon's shirt!
One slice of cake, please.
Someone showed up after all! Oh, wait, you're the one from the Palais Mermonia.
Oh, are you here to buy cake too? It seems Monsieur Nervalette was right. You were...
Wait, did he really say something like that?
That's right. Even he has his own preferences when it comes to food. As for me, I love the...
Do you come here often?
Usually every day.
Every day?
It's part of my daily schedule, apart from work. I shall have my cake and coffee.
Then what if someone told you one day that this place would be closing soon, and you wouldn't get to eat cake?
But why would it close?
Well, Paimon doesn't know either, but maybe...
Oh, the prophecy. To be honest, I haven't paid much attention to that. No, still, even... No. It's the same for eating in general. You might not be able to eat tomorrow, but if you can do so today...
Huh.
Don't be sad. Excuse me, could I have 2 more slices of cake to go? These 2 slices are for you. Sijuin said that this kind of expression you're making is what humans call...
Oh, you know Sijuin?
I sure do. She was born before me, and she sometimes comes to the surface. She said that humans are creatures that are saddened easily. Yes, and you can only lift their spirits by... I've got something else to do, so I'll be going now.
And there she goes! Alright, let's dig in. Paimon's sure this cake will be delicious. It's more delicious than last time! And the flavor gets even better with a sip of tea. nice if we could always eat delicious food here.
Nada, en el Judgment nada más que hablando de comida dándome hambre y aquí hablando de tartas. Comprar esto.
Ay, sí, pero es que en el Yume la comida es como más real, ¿sabes? Aquí.
Y pero están hablando de tarta.
Bueno, pues
Años que no la pruebo, qué asco.
cómete una mientras tienes una polla en el culo.
Gilipollas. Bueno, lo haré.
Por lo... Obviamente, ya lo sé.
Aquí digo de comerme la tarta.
Y lo otro también.
Gilipollas.
Pero sabes que es verdad.
Oh, we're near the Steambird office. Let's go look for Charlotte and have a chat.
Voy a limpiar el chat.
Sí. Como a ti. Sí.
Aquí la gente no tarda. Ah, por cierto, te has enterado, ¿no?
No, siempre cuando dices eso de ¿te has enterado? Nunca me he enterado, si no me entero.
Nintendo ha demandado a Palworld. Los quiere
¿Por
llevar a
qué?
juicio por plagio.
¿Pero qué plagio?
No. Y lo peor es que he leído que si va adelante, el juego chaparía. Y uno ha puesto ahí imágenes de lo que están exigiendo, ¿vale? No, exigiendo no. Hay imágenes que entrarían dentro de ese plagio y...
Pero
que se
eso,
parecen demasiado.
pero no, eso,
Pinta
pero
muy
eso
mal.
no, pero eso no lo habían retocado.
Ya. Pues se ve que Nintendo ha encontrado algo porque han pasado 9 meses y ya ves, ahora es cuando van a demandar. Yo creo que han querido demandar desde el principio, pero no han podido, ya sea porque no tenían suficiente como para demostrar, ¿sabes lo que quiero decir?
Sí, sí.
Pero, pues se ve que ya sí. Si no, no irían obviamente a juicio, no son tontos.
Ya, hombre.
Escena eliminar de Naruto.
A ver.
Vale, es que había ido por agua. Agüita, agüita, agüita.
Vale.
Vamos a seguir. Uy, espérate, hasta que se haya liado. No sé por qué manda eso.
Wow! If it isn't the Traveler and Paimon! Ha! You've got some nerve! You just used—
Oh, you needn't worry about that. I heard that you were in Poisson some time back, so I sent you a letter to discuss just— It's all right, though. I've set aside the amount intended for you. I've even—
Really? Oh, you're the best!
You're almost a little too easy to win over, Paimon. If I were a journalist with ulterior—
Oh, Paimon knows you're not like that.
Still, what brings you here all of a sudden?
A friend of ours met you a while back, and when she mentioned it, we thought of coming to see—
Ah, so you know Miss Mona as well. She's a guest columnist for our paper. Really good one, too. She's so young and— Oh, so she mentioned me? What did she—
She said that you're a real
Nice. In which case, can this daredevil journalist dare to request an exclusive—
Huh? So your article in the paper today doesn't—
Oh, of course it doesn't. That was more like live photography. What I'd like to do is dive deeper and ask you to talk about the thing—
Yeah, are we even qualified enough?
Why not? If I say you're worth an interview, then you're worth it. But not right now, of course.
Oh, in that case, we'll just check—
Oh, so that's a yes? Ooh, splendid! I'll tell the editor-in-chief immediately. I'll have to apply for lighting. Whew, so much to get done now. Talk to you later.
Wait, Charlotte, Paimon's still got a question for you.
And what's that?
If, just for example, Fontaine were to be fled—
Huh, that's the prophecy you're talking about, isn't it? I mean, I do hear about it often, but if you're seriously asking, then I might try and think of a way to leave Fontaine. Oh, but I'm still a journalist first and foremost. That means I have a duty to be From what I've seen, most people don't know what they'd do should the worst come to pass. In truth, it might be better just to behave like normal rather than worry. So in all likelihood, I'd probably still be prepping at the office for that interview of ours. I know what you're thinking. That sounds a bit sad, but just think about it. If this nation really were to be suddenly destroyed tomorrow, but I still successfully finish an exclusive interview with a truly unique— And then do you know what I'd do? Well, I'd write that story, send it for printing, and use messenger pigeons to get copies out to the various nations as soon as possible. I'm not a dreamer, nor am I a workaholic, but I do love my job. And I'd be proud of leaving such— But anyway, that's my answer.
That's so nice. All of a sudden, Paimon actually kinda— Anyway, let's go and take a look at the sea, shall we? The sea breeze and scenery can be a pretty soothing combo, huh? Paimon's been thinking. If it wasn't Fontaine, but all of Tevat that would be destroyed tomorrow, where— No, Paimon should ask if you could choose— We've always been moving to the next destination, so we haven't spent much time thinking about these kinds of things. We didn't have to either, with us always being on the road and whatnot. You mean, still traveling? Huh. Wait, isn't— Feels like you'll grow mold if you— But it's still better than the Fortress of Mirapede, that's for sure. It's not only damp there, but salt—
Ah, so the two of you are still here. Wonderful.
Oh, you're from the Palais Mermonia, aren't you?
Yes, I'm Isadora. Monsieur Nervillet sent me to look for you two before. I heard that afterward you went to the fortress of— Not at all. I'm well aware that you're friends of his. Actually, I'm here to pass along a message from him. Yes, inside the Opera House. The Marechaussee Phantom has declared the
A riot?
Well, that said, Lady Farina was watching a performance at the Opera House, and while she was resting during an intermission, loudly accusing her of doing nothing about the prophecy crisis. And before she could respond, others started to join in. The crowd continued to grow, and protests against the Hydro Archon started to break out.
So people have started to put the blame on Farina. Guess they finally found an outlet for the pressure they've been under due to the prophecy.
I agree. People will naturally rely on gods, as is customary. But the moment people feel threatened, gods are also the first.
So what happened after that? Is Farina okay?
Seeing that the situation was spiraling out of control and that further argument was pointless, she claimed that she'd gotten tired of this. The Marechaussee Phantom had their hands full maintaining order and did not catch where Lady Farina had gone. Only when things.
So, you mean she's still?
That's right. The Marechaussee has dispatched many people to search for her. That said, I don't think there's much to worry about. She is a god after all. Even if she were to fall into the hands of rioters, what good? Monsieur Nervillet sent me to tell you about the situation, but he didn't say anything else.
Don't worry, this is more than enough to go on. Thanks for keeping us informed.
Ah, is that so? Well, all right then. In that...
Well, sounds like we should hurry over to Poisson then.
Porque han puesto esa cara de lerdo.
No
If
sé.
we know Farina, she won't try to fix things in this situation. Instead, she'll look, and as we also know, she may be loud and dramatic. When Nervalet was talking to her in the Palais Mermonia, and she heard about Poisson, it would be hard for her to ignore being accused by the... Paimon thinks Farina's probably taken the opportunity to slip away to Poisson and... Well, what do you think? Paimon knows the answer, of course, but Paimon can do the analysis to... In that case, there's not a moment to lose. This place looks deserted. Guess all the survivors must have evacuated already. All that's left here are signs of devastation. Could Farina really be here? Let's try to find her as soon as possible.
Un minuto.
¿Qué pasa?
No, digo que voy al baño, pero un minuto.
¿Eh? Repite.
Que un
espera.
minuto.
¿Qué? ¿Yo? ¿Soy un querubín?
Claro.
¡Hala!
Gilipollas.
¿Qué? ¿Me he dicho nada?
Claro, no. Ahora espera, ahora mismo.
Sí, puta. Voy a seguir aquí diciendo. de que haya el agua.
That's Farina, right over there. She real.
Should I just give up? What was meant to happen did happen after all. Everyone's dead. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Give up, Farina. There's... I'm sorry. But what can I even do? Who's that?
Don't worry, Farina, it's just us.
So it is you, blonde traveler from another land. Why, I almost thought you were someone from that mob of my ignorant subjects.
Farina, you were crying just now, weren't you? The tear stains on your face are obvious.
What do you mean, tear stains? Oh, I remember. The show at the Opera House earlier this morning was so moving. Who did that uncivilized rabble think they were? Disturbing my enjoyment of the They even dare to tout their Archon. I must teach them a lesson. Oh, and I'm sure Nouvellette and those people from the Maréchaussée Phantom are freaking out right next to them, too. Of course not.
Hey, there she is! The Hydro Archon's over there! Quick, after her!
Farina, those people seem to be after you.
They are? They're just some rabid fans who want to cut the line. That's against the rules. I can't let them get their way.
Farina just ran off! Quick, we have to catch up with her! This should be the place, right? Hey, Farina! There's a good hiding spot over here. Quick, come to Paimon before the rest of them catch up
What? What is this place?
Hurry, they're almost here!
Fine. I suppose haste is warranted. I merely gave in to the sheer enthusiasm they displayed. You're right.
Yep, that's a good girl.
What's happening? The ground's shaking.
Yeah, a quake of this kind preceded the flooding in Poisson,
It can't be. It's happening again.
Well, there's no need to worry too much about that. Nouvellette's made some emergency plans, so the event...
Yeah, I hope you're right. But the people of Poisson, they've already... It's true. I've been investigating the prophecy for hundreds of years.
Vale, ya.
Ya estoy. Hola. Hola.
Sí, 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 joder, que estaba muteado. Bueno, no pasa nada.
Vale, pues vamos a seguir. En este momento un videogame después de matar a la asquerosidad que tiene que matar por la fregona.
Ya.
Pero bueno. En fin, le doy bien.
Sí, tú sigue.
I once had informants all over Tevat, searching for clues and feeding info. I've tried all kinds of ways too to hold back the sea. But all my efforts proved to be futile in the end. We cannot make an enemy of the divine. No matter what we do, the will of the heavenly principles will have its way, and the prophecy shall be fulfilled. Give up. I do love the sound of that phrase. It would mean finally coming to terms. Indeed. I've thought about giving up so many times, especially after we almost lost Poisson. Fate is really unreasonable, isn't it? It has no heart and obeys no rules, but just now, it all became clear to me. I still don't have the right to come to terms with fate on behalf of everyone else. As long as the final moment hasn't come, it's still not too late. Don't worry. I will keep hope alive for everyone until... Well, that's enough for now. I got the impulse to play the stricken maiden, but don't take any of what I just said seriously. How could I possibly let Fontaine fall to the...
Come on! Paimon could have sworn you were
Share my burden. That's impossible. It was fated right from the start that this would be my duty alone. A witness. Yes, I've heard that you came to Tevat from beyond the stars, yes. And if Tevat is, in its entirety, a show on a stage, if that's the case...
¿Pero qué coño?
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes my opening performance. Now, without further ado, we may proceed to the trial of our god.
So this is what it is. Yes, you deserve praise for the effort you took. Do not forget, however, that I am Focalor, the god of justice.
May I interpret these words as your refusal to stand? In that case, you will have the opportunity to defend your honor through a duel.
You would draw your blade against a god? I see. It seems like you have made up your...
Paimon can't believe it.
What the heck is going on? Did I just see an Archon
Wow, how utterly humiliating.
Lady Farina, what is the meaning of this?
Shh! It would seem that there has been a misunderstanding. To be clear,
Looking for excuses again, huh?
I raised my hands just now to indicate my I will admit that I've been running away. I'm sorry, everyone. I was unable to protect. You are not the only ones to be disappointed. But now, it is time I, Farina, will use this trial to show the world the true meaning of justice! This time, I will protect. Applaud and rejoice. One of the most outrageous. Mark my words. This shall be one of the most exhilarating and brilliant shows ever to grace the stage of Fontaine. The trial of the Hydro Archon, Focalor, will now begin!
Woohoo!
Oh, now we're making history.
Why does it feel like Farina just took over the whole thing? Like, also, even though she's still acting super dramatic, she is taking this seriously.
All right, then. Who will be
The court asks the prosecutor to please take the stand.
Is that so? Very well. Then please speak, witness of Also, please allow me to ask, as a final question, just how much work did you do to force me onto this?
Well, we did do a lot of prep after the meeting that day.
I can go over the tasks assigned to the Spina di Rosula, since they were rather straightforward and easy.
Navia, the president of the Spina di Rosula.
Most of the people who participated in the disturbance this morning were my subordinates. They changed into plain clothes and came to the Opera House as regular audience members. The people's resentment against their Archon has been building as more and more of the prophecy is fulfilled. A spark was all we needed to turn small. Moreover, according to our understanding and analysis of you, So, we arranged for a second group to lie in wait.
So, you mean... the ones who...
And their goal was to force you to step into the giant magic box so you may personally participate in the...
That's right. That house was a magic box, rather than someone's residence.
As the super ultimate version of the setup that I used when I first performed, the volume of the box was increased by a whole order of magnitude, and the distance it traversed was the entire gap between Poisson and Aranias. Was an Archon. My thanks, Farina. Without your help, we could never have pulled off such an
you're welcome?
Of course, this performance was only made possible with Father's support. The House of the Hearth spent a massive amount of labor in Mora to pull this off.
Los... ¿Cómo se llama esto? Los bichos estos, los... los Fatui trabajando.
Ya.
Una captura.
Madre mía.
Que me dejes en paz.
Jamás.
Luego capturas en el Genshin. Cada uno hace su cosa.
We had to select a location, construct the giant magic box, dig a tunnel, and open up a path through the water.
So, in other words, the earthquake that we felt with...
That's right. It wasn't a sign of another disaster to come.
Then, I can guess Nervilette and Cloran's parts. You gathered a crowd, prepared a stage, and made sure that the champion duelist would be immediate. Also that as soon as I appeared on the stage...
Yes, that is correct.
Well, Clorand, I must commend you for your courage. Only the most outstanding...
Thank you.
As for you, Traveler, I suppose your role was to keep me distracted with You'd make sure that I didn't notice anything amiss before revealing yourself as my prosecutor once we'd arrived onto the stage. Oh? Is that so? Then I suppose I must... It's fine. It matters not. The stage is already set, so there's no reason to disappoint the audience. Let's see this trial through to the very end.
Sir Prosecutor, please allow me to pass this along. This is a document that Miss Charlotte applied for and received permission to
Huh? Charlotte wanted to give us something? Oh, so she's here too! Hey, Charlotte! Oh, let Paimon see. Wait. Then that means this document is a perfect timeline of everything that's happened. So in other words, we can refer to this anthology of evidence every time we want to use something from our journal. Let's quickly confirm the information in it. Just think of it as a refresher, alright?
You defeated the Hydro Archon in the very height of this. The words of someone as extreme.
The prosecution and the defense are both in position. The trial shall now begin.